There we go, episode 17. So I've back to starting training again now, and what I've got for you today is essentially like a week's review of my training. So you can see at the minute going through day one. Now what I've done is I've put up the entire program before each day's clips, so if you're interested in specific weights and whatnot, it's all on there. So day one was some snatches, squats and bunch of muscle ups, that sort of thing. You can see here I hit what I think is a reasonable double at 72.5 kilos. So the 4 sets of 2 reps with that. I'm pretty happy with them, to be honest. And then squats, I worked up to a top set of 3 at 130 kilos. Now they're not super impressive weights by any mean, but it's the first week back doing like a normal training block, getting into a routine, that sort of thing. So I can't complain at that at all. Following the squats, I did a bunch of high throws, so that's with a 15 kilo ball. I say high throws, they're not that high. And then a load of strict handstand press ups. If you did look at the program at the beginning of the session, you saw I also did a bunch of assault bike and then some ski egg intervals. Just put them on quickly, so if you were interested to know, you could pause it and go back. And then on to day 2. So I started day 2 with some assault bike, which you've already seen, and then did lots of handstand walk prep. Didn't go particularly well this day. I think it's just a bit of lack of practice. And then the same with ring muscle ups. So with the ring muscle ups, just did 1 rep every minute for about 10 minutes and then a couple of reps on the last set. It just feels quite foreign at the minute, just the lack of practice, but they seem to be improving. So obviously this is towards the beginning of the week. This is from Tuesday. When I did the ring muscle ups later on in the week, they were much better. Some benching, which I've not done for quite a while. I worked up to this top set of 3 at 90 kilos, and then the dips, which I was pretty happy with. So I think the first set of these 4 reps with it's 18 kilos in total, so the belt was 8 then 10 on top. So 1 set was a PB. Then the fact that I went on to do 5 sets with that same, pretty happy with that. So finished that up with some curls, some flies and some band pull aparts. So all pretty steady stuff, and that was it for day 2. So the bike that I did, it was 42 minutes at like a steady pace with a sprint. I think it was every 7 minutes or so. So just about 7-second sprint, kind of like a big burst, as fast as possible, and then on the recovery not going back below my endurance pace. And then of course, speed through showing these. I think what I'm going to do in the future ones of this is I'll just show like the top sets, and then we've moved on now to day 3. So day 3 was probably one of the better days of training. It's kind of when it felt like things started to click a bit more, especially with the muscle ups. So I did on this day, it was just 3 sets, but there was no missed reps compared with day 1 when I missed the first rep. Nice and controlled, and then a bunch of singles of clean and jerk. I've moved my grip in a little bit narrower. It seems to have made a difference with the clean, especially. I'm finding it much easier in the receiving position. And then worked up to a single on deadlift just at 160 kilos. Really had no idea what to expect strength wise, and so I just worked up to that like nice and steady lift, nothing too crazy. And then some barbell rows with a bit of body weight, a bit of body momentum, I should say. So sets of 5 just with 80 kilos. You can see I'm not being particularly strict here, kind of using them like an accessory for the deadlifts more so than just the row. And then finished that session up with some pistol squats, which were pretty steady really. 10 reps on each side using 8 kilos. And we're trying to make sure that when I do them, I'm not wearing my weightlifting shoes, because it does make it easier for me anyway. So doing it this way is making it a bit stricter, I guess. Trying to be more controlled, holding the weight. But rather than putting all the reps, I just put a couple of reps from each side on. So after that session, I did some sprints on the assault bike, and then later on that day, I did 40,000 meters on the bike erg. It's like just over an hour and a half. And then now we're on to day 4. Day 4 kicked off with some ring muscle ups again. You probably see they looked better again, even compared to earlier on in the week, so that's nice. Then some snatches. I worked up to a single 82.5 kilos. PB at the minute is 90 kilos, that's not bad. And then back off sets, and then clean and jerk, worked up to a single at 100 kilos. Again, not too bad, like the jerk was a bit rough. Still went up, and then I cleaned 110 afterwards. I was really happy with that actually. I considered putting more weight on, but when I finished the clean, I kind of just was like, nope, I'm not even going to attempt the jerk on that. And then did a bunch of singles afterwards with 90 kilos. Again, just trying to work on technique and make sure everything's smooth. And then finished off that session. Worked up to a double on front squats at 120 kilos. So if you remember, on day 1 I only squatted 130 kilos, so strength's kind of coming back quite quick. And then I did an interval workout on the ski erg, which essentially was adding more meters each round until I couldn't finish the round. And so it started off really easy and ended hard, as you can imagine. And then finally now we're on to last day of the training week. So the difference in these ring muscle ups just compared to day 1, so much better. Same with the bar muscle ups, it's like a night and day difference. Just the fact of doing them again over the course of the week seems to have improved quite a lot. With these, I'm really trying to figure out how to do them without tearing my hands, and I think I'm like 99% sure I've figured it out. I'll mention it in the next video if I have. So I'm recording this like the day after I finished all this training. So yeah, if it has worked, then I'll share what it is that I've been doing. This session did some steady bench press and spoto press, and then some dumbbell rows, overhead press, lateral raises, all that sort of thing. So nothing too crazy, like pretty steady week of training. So I'm hopefully going to start uploading these week of training videos again and try and make it more of a regular thing. There's about 17 billion different things going on at the minute. We've just found out about having to be in lockdown again, which I'm sure everyone's in the same sort of situation. So figuring out how we're going to work things with that. Luckily, we've had it happen before, so we're in a better position to deal with it now. So I think that's just about it for the footage that I've got from today and from this week. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching as always.